offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
He's hounding him defensively. Bradley kind of pushes him off. Chases him off. Dayton drives out top around to Johnson's screen. Bradley, chase, get it to Larson. Wide open three is up and good. Huge shot for Pelle Larsson.
Well, if I told you that Oumar Ballo would not get a double-double in this basketball game, Kylan Boswell would not hit a field goal in this game, and the Wildcats would score 7 points on the fast break, would you think we'd be talking about a victory? Would you think we'd be talking about a 10-point victory? I don't think so, but that's where we are. 78-68, the Arizona Wildcats knock off the Dayton Flyers in Salt Lake City at the Delta Center. They are on to the Sweet 16. We'll talk about the numbers because they're a little sloppy in terms of how many trips to the Sweet 16 this is. 21 overall, only 20 of them are official because the NCAA has vacated one of those trips. But if you're counting overall, 21 trips now to the Sweet 16 for your Arizona Wildcats. And they will head to Los Angeles and await the winner of tomorrow's game in the round of 32 between third seed Clemson out of the ACC and number 2 seed Baylor out of the Big 12. So we could potentially in the Sweet 16 see a future matchup with one of our mates in the new conference. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We look forward to talking to you. Very interesting ball game. Wildcats got out to a 17-point lead in this contest. Their defense early was just absolutely shutting down the Dayton Flyers. But then the Flyers decided to go to the zone. The Wildcats got into some trouble, not getting good shots, not hitting shots, turning the ball over, 11 in the first half. And Dayton started firing. They fired their way back into the ball game. Then the second half, Arizona couldn't make a basket early to save their life. Dayton whittled a 17-point lead down to, I believe they got as close as 5 at one point. And then it was a track meet. Like after the under-16 timeout, it turned into a track meet. I mean, they were just going back and forth. Buckets. I think Derek Palmer said it the other night. Everybody's getting a bucket. When the Arizona women beat Auburn, it was something similar to that. They were owning Oumar Ballo. They were bringing him out, owning him in the pick and roll. But the big thing in the second half was that Arizona matched Dayton 3 for 3. And they never allowed them to get too close for comfort in this game. Jaden Bradley off the bench. Well, there's a number of things with Jaden Bradley that I loved about this game. One was just his absolute stifling defense. His hands, talk about handsy, Jaden Bradley pilfering folks at the defensive end of the floor, and then just his aggressiveness to the basket on a night when, again, and then this is not really Kylan Boswell's game really on a night when he's playing well or scoring. But Jaden Bradley's just ability and want to take the ball to the hole just creates a whole different dynamic for this Arizona Wildcats team at the offensive end of the floor. He and KJ Lewis both. I mean, when you've got two guys that can come off the bench and defend like they do, and then take the ball to the hole with a desire to do that, this is a team that can win by double digits when Umar Ballo doesn't get a double-double, Kylan Boswell doesn't hit a field goal, and U of A gets just 7 fast break points. The bench mob was very similar to the USC game at the Pac-12 tournament. The bench mob came and dressed down Dayton to send Arizona to the Sweet 16. All right, 520-848-1290. I'm David Kelly. Kelvin Ifan is coaching. We will hear from him at some point during the show. He's got a championship game in KJ, his son's flag football league. Of course, way more important to be a dad than to be here with us. So hopefully we'll get a chance to hear from him. The game went a little bit long, and I think they got a 1 o'clock, so we'll see maybe if we get to him at the tail end of the show. I'm also joined by J.W. Madden. J.W., your initial thoughts on what you saw today in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, I mean, survive and advance. The whole thing you said just now about Boswell and Ballo, there's 2 types of teams. Teams that impose their will and do one thing against you, and that's all they do. And then there's Arizona, which is built to survive and beat teams in any way that you allow them to. That's a take what the defense has given you type of deal. And quite clearly in the second half, Coach Lloyd decided that he was going to go small ball. I mean, Ballo didn't really even play much in there in the second half because they decided to go with Keyshawn Johnson at the 5.
Yeah. I mean, and that was something different. We've seen that at times from this squad where Coach has gone and done that. And you'll hear from him if you didn't hear him talking about that. You didn't because it was in the post game. But we'll hear from him a little bit later on basically what he was hoping to get out of that. And that was kind of just to, throw. It was during that track meet I was talking about where, I mean, the teams were just, trading buckets and I talked about our guys driving to the lane. I mean, if there was one major negative that I thought came out of this game for Arizona, there were way too many dribble drives to the basket. I mean, they were just giving up layups left and right in this game.
They were convicted to not give up threes, and that's why you saw those dribble drives get passed. Did you hear the stat? They didn't make a 3 in the last 11 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
The third best three-point shooting team in the country. So quite clearly, Coach Lloyd and the assistants who put together the game plan, they were not going to allow those guys to come back like they did the other day against the Wolfpack by bombing a bunch of threes. They only took 4 threes, DK. They were only able to take 4 threes in the last 11 minutes of that game, down by basically 8-10 points the whole time. So I just think you got to figure one way or the other. Those wide open layups really kind of make you yell at the TV a little bit, if it's in a vacuum. And because clearly they didn't want Dayton to shoot themselves back into that game. My only biggest problem was that first half stretch when they got up by 16 or 17 and got really cavalier with the ball.
Yeah.
One particular pass by Caleb where he right hand bounce passed it across the court between 3 defenders with about 28 seconds left on the shot clock. You just don't need to take that risk up 16. Obviously, it didn't cost them because they found a way, DK. I mean, I think, I don't think it's a mystery that this year's defensive effort is going to take them as far as they want to go in this tournament. Everybody can point to what number they are ranked in the country team-wise as far as scoring points per game. That doesn't happen here in the NCAA tournament. 102-100, the Colorado game the other night, that's an anomaly. Most teams are 80% of their scoring averages during the regular season. So it's really going to be up to the defense. And as far as I'm concerned, they did exactly what they needed to do defensively. Brea got off a little bit there in that first half to get the Flyers back into the game. But, man, that second half defense, DK, I mean, you already said the names, but super impressed, as always, all year long with Jaden Bradley. Incredible defender, KJ Lewis's effort. Both those guys got switched off during that small ball with Keyshawn, guarding Holmes. They both got switched off onto Holmes several occasions and really only got abused one time for the dunk where they got pushed out too far towards the free throw line. All those other situations where they were fronting Holmes when they got switched off, they did a great job fighting him for position. Love Pella's efficiency and all-around game is 6 assists. Just team ball, DK. It's all about, surviving and advancing. Boswell, not good game. Ballo, not great game. Other guys picked it up.
All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program, 520-848-1290. We got a lot to get to. We'll review our keys to the game, best bets. We'll talk to you, our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game, as well as we'll check in now with the third member of our program who is out getting ready to coach some flag football. It is Kelvin Ifan. Kelvin, 78-68. Arizona's back on their way to the Sweet 16. Your takeaways from today's game?
Man, it was just so beautiful to see those guys playing defense, man. They was really locking up. Just taking away that three-pointer. I thought Holmes played well. I mean, he did a great job. He knocked down more threes than I thought that he would be able to make. Made a couple moves, driving to the basket. He represented the state of Arizona well. But, man, too much Barlow, man, too much Arizona basketball. Man, those guys had me hyped today because I love tight games where you got to figure it out and fight your way through, and they did that today.
You know, Kelvin, my top point, I said if you'd have told me that Umar Barlow wouldn't get a double-double, Kylan Boswell wouldn't hit a field goal, and the Wildcats would get just 7 fast break points, I don't know if we'd be talking about a 10-point victory, let alone a victory at all.
No, you know what? They haven't had a lot of opportunities to show us that they were able to win games like that. And the games that they did have a chance to, they didn't win those. So, no, none of us thought that they would win a game like that. But guess what? It just matters about the guys that's on that court and that's in that locker room, and they figuring it out at the right time, man. They figured it out at the right time, and that's what it's about when you're trying to win a championship.
I know you got to get ready to go and coach, but real quick, how about Jaden Bradley and KJ Lewis? The one thing that I loved about them was, again, they're so different than Kylan is because when they come into the game, not only do they defend really, really well, but they're not afraid to take the ball to the basket. I mean, those guys are aggressive in taking the ball to the hole at the offensive end.
Yeah, man. You got to understand the pedigree of both of those guys. Bradley is a McDonald's All-American, and then when you're talking about KJ played on basically an undefeated national championship contending high school team in Duncanville High School. So those guys are not afraid of the moment. And as I said before in the pregame, championship guys understand that you have to go to the hole and get to the basket to win championships because you get the easy layups, you get the rebound putback, and you get to the foul line. And if you notice, that's what those guys were doing.
All right, Kelvin, go win a championship.
Oh, man, we're gonna go for it for sure. Thank you.
All right, that's Kelvin Ifan, the captain, U of A class of 1998, out on the flag football fields of Tucson here on a beautiful Saturday. Well, maybe a little overcast, but hey, the Wildcats won today, so it is absolutely a beautiful day. And we want to share that with you. We'll take you probably right around to about sometime between 2:30 and 3 o'clock. Let you hear from everything happening in Salt Lake City as well. I believe Ryan Hansen talked to Jaden Bradley. It was Caleb Love and Jaden Bradley in the interview room with head coach Tommy Lloyd. We'll let you hear all of that, and we'll also keep you up to date on what is happening with the Arizona women's basketball program as they are playing in their round of 64 game. You'll remember they were in the first 4, so this is actually their first game in the round of 64, and so they're playing the Syracuse Orange today, and that game has just gotten underway or got underway a little while ago. We'll keep you up to date on that as well. All right, 520-848-1290. JW, let's talk to Ken first. Ken, you are on Wildcats Radio 1290, Meridian Wealth Management postgame show. Ken, are you there? Ken. All right, Ken, we're going to put you back on hold since you are not hearing us. We'll chat with Anthony. Anthony, you're on the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing today?
Good. What'd you think, Anthony?
Oh, man, crazy game, man. I was like, I love March, and then I hate March, but today's the day that I love March.
It's interesting, Anthony. We had a caller that called up on the pregame show, and he said, man, I want to see the Wildcats win games by 40 points like UConn and Houston, and that's great, but, man, don't you like the nervousness that comes out of a game like today?
Only a little bit. Only a little bit. I mean, believe me, like I was like, we got up 16-17. I was happy. They made that run, and then I had like flashbacks of Oregon. I was just like, oh, this gave me sick to my stomach. And then we came back and fought. Some great. Tommy decided to go with Bradley most of the second half, which was a great call because Boswell was struggling. But you want to know the crazy part? We're battling back and forth in that second half, like 7 points, 4 points, 6 points, 3 points, right? When he went, I can't really knock Boswell. Didn't have a great game, but the moment that he went, when he subbed in Boswell for Love, is when we extended the lead from 5 to 15. And it wasn't so much because Boswell didn't have the impact in it, but we were moving the ball a little bit better. We were having less trouble bringing it up because we had 2 point guards on the court. Pella brought the ball up quite a lot today too. He struggled from time to time, but he hit some key threes, and it was just, it was just a very, very interesting game. Yeah, you said it exactly, man. If you go 7 fast break points, Paulo having a bad game, Boswell having a bad game, you would think at this point in time we'd be talking about how good season, maybe next year. But Bradley and Lewis have been firecrackers. Especially, I like that lineup, especially when we need defense of them two on the court together. That was great. Keyshot had a nice little under the basket dunk. I'm just excited to be a Wildcat right now.
And I don't know if I would categorize Ballo as a bad game. I mean, he still went 4 for 5. I think the one difference, obviously he didn't, he wasn't able to control things on the boards today, and he didn't get to the line in this game. I think, if he gets to the line, is maybe 5 or 6, 7 times that he normally does. I mean, he's scoring in double figures for sure because he's gonna make a few of those. It was just a little bit of a different game, I think, for him defensively with a more active and athletic big and Deuce Holmes, and they were able to kind of take advantage of him a little bit at the defensive
what
end,
happened was they went into a 2-man game between Holmes and Brea, and they ran that about 10 times in a row, and then Ballo got put on the bench and didn't really come back.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were doing. They were just going to go high pick and roll with Brea, the best shooter in the country, and Holmes, one of the best finishers at the rim. And that's when Coach Lloyd said, okay, you're going to do that. Let's get, Keyshawn Johnson in there and run him a little bit at the 5. And Ballo played 22 minutes with no foul trouble. So, it was just a matter of strategy when he saw that Dayton was running a lot of high pick and rolls with their 2 best players in that set. And that was dangerous. That's when they got in that second half run and got that lead down to about 3-4. And it was just a bit of chess. It doesn't mean that Ballo's a bad defender. It just means moving your feet against a guy, maybe the most impressive 6'10" finishing, 3-level scorer in the country, or quite, on the short list, certainly, is Deuce Holmes. So, yeah, that was just a matter of Ballo not quite have a quick enough foot to be able to get back in the paint, and then the mismatches it was creating was a problem. They didn't want to let Brea get off, was the real reason I think Ballo got put on the bench.
Yeah, and good call on that. Yeah, Ballo. Yeah, his athleticism caused Ballo causes have trouble getting the entry pass into. There's a couple times they got some steals when, we'd put it up and he'd use his athleticism to get around Ballo. What refs did we have? Was it SEC, Big 12? What refs did we have for today?
It's a good question. I don't know. Tony Padilla's name sounds familiar to me, but I don't know that he was necessary. I don't know that this was where this crew specifically was from. But we'll try to find that out for you for sure, Anthony.
And the reason I ask that, and I'm never a person to say, oh, yeah, the refs caused the game. Usually they make it up pretty much. We don't have no Donahues out there. So, we'll usually see it made up throughout the game. But this game was very inconsistent, not like towards one team, though. So don't get me wrong. I'm not being like, oh, Arizona got bad calls. Both ways. There was like a span of 4 or 5 minutes where you could go down the lane and get murdered and nothing would be called. And then there was a span of 2 or 3 minutes where you untuck their shirt or something or touched them. And there was 4 plays in a row where they got Lewis, they got Ballo, they got whoever was guarding the kid. I forget the kid's name, the stuff from Phoenix. It was just very inconsistent.
Those are veterans. Anthony, those are veteran refs, and they did it the exact right way, which was knowing how high intensity and physical the game was going to be. They decided from the tip they were going to let the guys play. They didn't call a lot of touch fouls. There was a lot of physicality right up until about 15 minutes gone, about 12 minutes gone in the second half. And that stretch where you're talking about is when it started getting a little chippy and there was potentially, a situation or two for some extracurriculars. And that's when they reined it in and said, okay, teams, enough of that. Let's not have this escalate to something stupid. So they let the teams play, which I love. And then they decided to rein the teams in. As you said, it wasn't one-sided one way or the other bad calls. They just called it lopsided, let the teams play, call basically everything for a stretch just to calm things down and get it back under control.
And Anthony, I don't think they do that the way that you're thinking in basketball as they do for football, where they keep kind of cruise together. Because I said Tony Padilla's name was familiar. He's a Pac-12 ref, so he works Pac-12 games. It looks like Brooks Wells is from the East Coast, so maybe ACC, Big East, I'm seeing his name kind of associated with. And Brooks Wells, it looks like, does some Big Ten games. So I think they kind of mix and match in basketball. So it's not like with football where you might get a crew from a certain conference.
Yeah, one little thing that's worrying me a little bit, but not worrying me. I mean, we managed around it, but Love is usually pretty solid from the line. But ever since that USC game at the Pac-12, man, I'd probably say if you look over from that game on, he's probably maybe 50% from the line.
Well, he was 4 of 6 today, which is not. Yeah, I mean, for a guy that shoots 80%, 4 of 6 maybe is a little less than you'd like. But we'll look at those numbers. He's definitely probably under his average, but I don't know if he's 50%.
Yeah.
It's actually the other side of the court that free throws became a big issue because, Anthony, you're talking about that stretch where they called everything. You know what that was? That was about 8 minutes to go in the game. That's what put them in the bonus. They missed 2 front ends in a row. They missed the front end of 1-and-1s twice in a row at the 7th and 8th foul, right at that stretch when it was like a 4 or 5 point game. If those guys hit their free throws, that's 4 points they left on the board. Didn't even get a chance at the second shots, missing the front end like that. Yeah, I mean, I think when you're huge
those
volume,
were the only 2 free throws they missed.
Yeah, there you go.
They were 13 and 15.
And when you miss the front end of a 1-on-1 in a close game like that, I mean, that's the worst because you're not even getting an opportunity for that second shot.
Yeah, that was key because that was their stud player too. That a couple of those touch fouls that kind of got us through. Just like I said, very interesting game. Very happy to be a Wildcat today. Get to enjoy the weekend because, man, when they lose, I shut down for about 2-3 days of watching basketball. But yeah, like I still hate Oregon right now, except for that Pac-12 game still kills me, man. But it is what it is. You know what? It might be a blessing that extra days rest. Now we're on to LA, man.
Now, Anthony, you actually were close to right. Just looked it up. Caleb Love is 8 for 15 from the line in the last 5 games. So that's right around 53%. So he is well underneath his average of 83%.
Yeah, because I know he missed, like, the 2 he missed. And are you sure he was 4 for 6? Because he missed.
Yeah,
oh, no, he did. Yeah,
6.
you're right. Yep. You are right. Yeah, because he did go 1 for 2 on one of his first shot, and then he miss one later. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's just been, he's been usually pretty solid. He's just been a little off on that. But like I said, I'm glad we were able to endure the Boswell bad game, but we're on to surviving events. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be your name on the board.
There you go. Anthony, appreciate your call as always. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll take more of your calls, so get in on the lines. You can also text us at 520-848-1290. Let us know where you were out watching the game today. We want to hear that. I know my wife was over at Cold Beer and Cheeseburger. She said it was a pretty solid crowd over there as well. And the Wildcats are on to the Sweet 16. With J.W. Madden, Kelvin Ifan, I'm David Kelly. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog Inn Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way, and we all know that extreme heat comes next. Right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, 6 decades of service, and dozens of top shop awards, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. This month, get back big rebates on all your favorite major brand tires. Save more on the most affordable, long-lasting tires. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and money-saving coupons. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Here to get you there.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vail School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & Kay with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at CoolWillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Calling all basketball fans, Champs Kitchen and Bar is kicking off its grand opening with unbeatable bracket buster specials, including $5 pizzas, $5 burgers, and $5 pitchers all month long. Whether you're a fan of the game or just looking for a great time, Champs Kitchen and Bar is the place to be. Head on over there, 7625 North La Jolla Boulevard, and join the celebration. Cheers to good times, great food, and even better deals at Champs Kitchen and Bar.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Striving to be the best never grows old, and that's especially true right now during O'Reilly Chevrolet's 100th anniversary celebration. Great customer service is what we've hung our cowboy hat on for more than a century. Even today, we have a new inventory arriving with factory incentives available, and there are great deals to be had. Check them out at O'Reilly.com, call 747-8000, or come to our party on the 23rd to Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Southern Arizona and O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet. My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is here and so are the allergies. I'm Janae Arenas, and if you're a mom like me, you're concerned about how clean the air is that your family is breathing. That's why we offer duct cleaning, aeroseal duct sealing, and air purification. Call us at Picture Rocks Cooling at 520-440-4069. Your family deserves to breathe clean, healthy air.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Donna Autumn Nation. Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Javon Bennett, 5'10 sophomore out of Orlando, Florida, on the floor. An inbound stolen away by Keyshawn Johnson on a breakaway. He'll go to the bucket and slam it down with the windmill. And the Wildcats are up 11-8. Second turnover on Dayton.
78-68, Arizona men's basketball knocks off Dayton to advance to the Sweet 16. That'll be in Los Angeles at the Crypto.com Arena Thursday. We'll wait to find out who the Wildcats will play. We want to update you on the Arizona women's basketball game taking place right now in Storrs, Connecticut. This is the round of 64. About 4 minutes and 50 seconds, so they were at the under 5 timeout of the second quarter. Arizona is leading Syracuse 31-22. Skylar Jones has 12 points already in the game on 5 of 6 shooting from the floor. Jada Williams has 8. Brea Cunningham has 6. Brea Cunningham already, 2 fouls, so that's about par for the course, but she's in the game. She's got 6 points, 5 points for Esmeri Martinez, as the Wildcats are shooting 54% from the floor, and they've got 3 threes in the first half, 2 of those by Jada Williams, a 9-point lead right now for Arizona. And if they win, the Wildcats will play on Monday, and that would potentially be against the winner of the second game. Well, it would definitely be against the winner of the second game, potentially against UConn. UConn is taking on Jackson State in the other game there in Storrs, Connecticut. That'll be later on this afternoon. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We want to talk to you about this Arizona Wildcats win today over the Dayton Flyers. Let's head back to the phones and get Ken. We'll try again. Ken, you're on the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, thank you very much. A couple of quick comments. Number one, I would all day long prefer that we play the type of defense on teams that can shoot threes and give up an occasional basket underneath. I think we could remedy some of those easy layups by platooning our big guys and let them rack up 2 or 3 fouls each. And I think somebody other than Ballo that can move laterally a little bit faster might get some more time. But all season long, watching our defense not go out and get in the face of 3-point shooters has been frustrating. So hats off to that. I also saw something in that win that I think could really be a key to how far we go. There's no question how good Love is. However, if you just watch what's been taking place, when we get down to a game, whether it's the next one or 2 games from now, I think prior to what's went on in the last couple of games, I think he would have felt a need to keep the ball, take the last shot, be the man to carry us on. And now that we've seen the strength from our bench and everything else, I'm hoping that that means that that pressure of him having to take the last shot is now not going to be on his shoulders, because I think he does have a tendency at times to just throw up threes at a point where there's still ball movement to be made. So I think that win was a really good one because of the way we did win. And I'll hang up and listen to your other caller.
Before you hang up, Ken, I want to ask you a question. When you say take the last shot, are you talking about within a single possession? Or are you talking about last shots at the end of the game?
I'm talking about last shot, 9 seconds left. I think up until the last couple of games, I'm afraid that if the ball was in his hand, it would have been one of those one-on-ones and then throw up a shot. And I think now that we've shown that the bench has continued to get it done and play hard, I think he's just a piece to the puzzle instead of, quote-unquote, the man. And I think that's good for him and good for our team.
All right. We appreciate your call, Ken. Thank you very much. Please do call again. J-Dub, just in relationship to what Ken was saying there, and also, the bench has been up and down. I mean, they scored, 23 points tonight. The bench scoring was 23-2 in favor of Arizona. It was not that in the last game. But are you seeing any consistencies to these games where we get more production from the bench than games where we don't?
Well, I think people should look at it simply as Coach Lloyd will put the players who are playing well and have a good feel for the game that are in the rotation in those spots. So guys like Boswell, Ballo didn't have a bad game. It was just a bad matchup with that high pick and roll like we were talking about. It doesn't mean that those guys need to have Bradley start. This is like the garbage you hear online. It just means that in that particular game, it doesn't matter if it's matchups or whatever. And the bench production, I mean, you said it. They had 8 points, all from Jaden Bradley in Long Beach State. So 8 points in the first round game. But how many points did they have in the Pac-12 game, right? I mean, KJ had his career high.
Yeah, I think it was 32.
They scored a
game.
ton off the bench.
Yeah.
I don't think it's I don't think it's a situation where you need 15 points or 20 points off the bench to win. I don't think it's a situation where if you have 5 points off the bench, you lose. It's all relative to what those other guys are doing. It just so happened today, those guys really stepped up defensively and offensively. You saw down the stretch, Jaden Bradley was the primary ball handler against that defensive pressure. I mean, they actually, had a 1-3-1, 3/4 court trap going on. They kind of switched it up into a little bit of a looser full court where they weren't trying to turn you over but just slow you down. And in both those situations, as you're supposed to do, you have 2 ball handlers in the backcourt, and they pass it back and forth depending on if they get a double team or extra defensive attention. And so seeing Jaden Bradley, the trust that the coaching staff has in him and Coach Lloyd has in him to be a primary ball handler through all of that pressure tells you everything you need to know. Boswell is up and down. He's 18, right? I mean, I just think people need to kind of come to terms with that. Have his career high last game, didn't have a field goal this game. It's just about the other guys stepping up. It's a team. I mean, listen to the guys talk, right? All they talk about is whoever's open gets the shot. It's we, it's us, it's all that stuff. So individuals having poor games or not, it's the biggest problem is when Caleb Love, Jaden Bradley, Kylan Boswell, and KJ Lewis all have bad games at the same time. And those are the losses that you go back and look. Go back and look at those games that they lost, especially last week. So as long as 2 guys or 3 of the backcourt players who are in the rotation, have good games or great games. Caleb had a great half. He missed 7 shots in the second half and made 1. And 4 of those were layups at the rim. I just looked at the shot chart. So again, I think Caleb came to touch on what the caller just said. Caleb came to Tucson to get away from that one-on-one ISO style ball, right? I mean, late shot clock stuff aside, late game clock stuff aside, and Caleb Love is taking shots within the offense. Some of the over the top of the screen threes from 22 feet, 23 feet away, I think a lot of fans have issue with that with 16, 20 seconds left on the shot clock. But he also made 3 of those in the first half, right? Just that stop off the dribble handoff and shoot because the defender went underneath the screen. That's not a bad shot. I like Caleb when he takes more shots off of passes, not necessarily catch and shoot because his feet aren't set. He's always moving, but take the one step off the catch and then gather himself and go up. He's got a really quick release. So, yeah, I mean, I just think as long as some guys from that backcourt are producing at a high level, you're going to be okay with the rest of the guys. Pella is the forgotten man. I mean, we talk about all the other guys so much. Pella and Keyshawn Johnson fill so many gaps, right? And so if collectively they shoot something like 2 for 20 DK from the outside, it's going to be a long night. They're probably not going to win those games. But I don't look to one guy. I don't look to Boswell's struggles, meaning they lose. The whole stat about when he scores a certain number of points, they're 19-1 or whatever. Yeah, that's all well and good. It also means that he's not ever getting extra defensive attention, right? Like, when was the last time you saw Ballo come off a high ball screen and have a secondary defender come over? I'm sorry, Boswell, and have a secondary defender come over to him? That just doesn't happen,
right?
Even when he's shooting well. So because there's so much offensive firepower, it's the whole is always stronger than the individual. That's the offensive style. Whoever's open, take the shot. You just have to knock it down. And whoever's knocking shots down that day, DK, that's contributing to the overall goal of winning games. So it's just a team effort.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We will take more of your calls. Arizona knocks off Dayton 78-68. The Wildcats are on to the Sweet 16. They are the first team to punch a ticket because it was the first game of the day. It started really early in the morning here in Tucson, 9:45. I want to hear those stories too. I want to hear about your day. Call us up. 520-848-1290. I want to hear how you started your day. Did you do a breakfast party for this game? What was it all about? Because I don't know that we've had a day. You go first.
I got up at 4, and I got here at 4:45, and it was too early to buy donuts because none of the bakeries are open that early. That was the start of my day.
That's a shock because, that's shocking to me. What time do bakeries open at 6, I guess?
think, yeah.
Wow.
Most of them, yeah.
There you go. Well, at least we appreciate you thinking about that.
I've
option.
tried to buy Kelvin donuts over the years, but what is he, like, got a 2% body fat? He's like my age, and I don't think he even eats sugar, but, it's a nice gesture. There's enough promo people in the building. I'm sure that if I would have gotten a dozen donuts at 6 a.m., they would have been eaten.
They would have been gone by 10 o'clock Monday morning. All right, we will take more of your calls. It's the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Grand Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Grand Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Experiencing the Sonoran Desert's natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rock & Kay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by nature, built for you. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style, and top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Hi, this is Mike Hanley, former president of Bank of Tucson, and I'm thrilled to announce that I have joined the Advisory Business Council of Meridian Wealth Management and Natalie Fernandez-Lee, Meridian's partner and advisor, who I am a great fan of. She has worked with many individuals and businesses in the community for decades. We live in crazy times these days and need the right financial advice, which is so important. If you'd like to talk to Natalie, give her a call at 719-1433 and have a great day.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. When I need a winning strategy for my team, nothing beats knowledge and skill. That's why I recommend Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for all your home service needs. Having personally witnessed the impact of hard work and dedication, Right Way brings the same commitment to your home's comfort. Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, their team always delivers excellence. With a legacy of quality service since 1959, you know you're in good hands. So give your home the best. Choose Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Call or text 520-640-CATS or visit rightwayac.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona, with offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona. The Eagle gives you home court advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne makes the right play in any situation. So, after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm get you the settlement you deserve. It's a slam dunk. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800 The Eagle.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic offers military discounts to retired and disabled veterans. And they now accept patients with Access Insurance. For more information and to find the location nearest you, visit firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
It's a party 100 years in the making, and all of Tucson is invited. Saturday, March 23rd, starting at 11 a.m., we'll kick off our 100-year anniversary party at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Along with the Chevy Classic Car Show, there'll be food trucks, balloon twisters, a caricature artist, and much more. Our cake cutting ceremony will start at 5 p.m., and our prize cutting, well, that's been going on for more than a century. So put it in your cell phone for the 23rd and see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or go to O'Reilly.com for more details. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Fun for the crew, fun for the family, fun for everyone. Dave & Buster's is the place to be for all things fun. With hundreds of awesome games, massive screens showing every single game, and their incredible menu of top-notch food and drinks. There's no better place to eat, drink, play, and watch than Dave & Buster's. Make Wednesday the highlight of your week at Dave & Buster's by experiencing half-price games on Wednesdays. That's right, every arcade game, half-price. Dave & Buster's at Tucson Marketplace, your Wednesday game day viewing spot.
The Meridian Wealth Management postgame show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bradley out high left. Cheeks giving him some space. Bradley trying to push him away. Follow setting a high screen. Bradley around it. Drives left to the lane. Spin move. Lay it up and good. Oh, what a beautiful move by Jaden Bradley. He's got 10 points.
Jaden Bradley would finish with 12 points in 27 minutes. He had 4 rebounds. He dished out a couple of assists. He had 3 blocks and 3 steals.
Well, that strip towards the end of Holmes, they counted that as a block.
Oh, yeah.
The strip when he had his hand,
right.
when Holmes had the ball down and Bradley got his hand right on the ball, they called that a block, not a strip, not a steal. I don't know why they called that a block. That was definitely a steal. But.
Either way, when you see 6 blocks and 6 steals from a guard, I think I'm going to like that. And 6 free throws. To me, again, that's the big thing. I mean, Jaden Bradley taking the ball to the paint. I've said all season long, I mean, the kid absorbs contact as good as anybody. He and Pella are the best on this team at driving to the basket, absorbing contact, and still being able to get the ball up to the basket for a potential and one.
You know, Bradley's big his big advantage is he's got incredibly long arms for his size, and his handle is super tight, DK. So you talk about getting in traffic there, being able to get your hands up above and get the ball at the rim from angles has a lot to do with the length that he has. The length that he has is kind of underrated. But, yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I think Jaden Bradley makes things happen from mid-range and getting into the right at the cup. He's done that the whole time he's been at Arizona. And the 3 is just a bonus. I love it when he shoots a 3 like he did today with full confidence, no hesitation whatsoever, because that was bottoms. Like, that was about as sweet a stroke as we've seen from him from the outside. He was just feeling it today. And as Kelvin always says, the defense always picks up your offense. So when you're playing with that much energy, he played about as good a game as we've seen from him all year in an Arizona uniform. Stuffed the stat sheet, but just the intangibles. Just every minute he was on the court, breaking the press. Super impressed with his ability to handle the ball against that pressure in the second half especially.
Give you an update on what's happening in Storrs, Connecticut. They have gone to the half of the NCAA women's basketball tournament first-round game. Arizona leads Syracuse. Arizona, the 11 seed. Syracuse, the 6 seed. Wildcats leading 37-32 at the moment. 12 first-half points for Skylar Jones, 8 for Jada Williams, 6 for Brea Cunningham. It was a 9-point lead the last time we checked in. It is now 5 points at the half. If you have not had a chance to watch that game, I'll have to see if it's on a channel I can get in here. But if you're watching that game, call in, let us know what you're seeing there. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Now, I mentioned this is the 21st time that Arizona has gone to the Sweet 16, but only the 20th now officially because the NCAA vacated the 2017 appearance that the Wildcats had in the NCAA tournament. And this is the weird thing about all of this is because, right before the end of the game, I'm counting up the Sweet 16s. So I had 21. And then I heard Brian say 20 on the air because 20 is the official number with the vacation of the 2017 one. And that's the way it's listed in the record book. So in the media guide, it is listed as they've only been to the Sweet 16 19 times. This would be the 20th. They vacated anything that's NCAA vacated has actually been taken out of the record books. Now, if you go to McHale Center and look up into the rafters, 2017 is still up there. They haven't taken any of that stuff off the walls in McHale Center in terms of because I think it was 2 years. I think it was 17 and 18 that those appearances had to be vacated as a result of the NCAA bribery scandal. All of that, the face of that is still up in McHale Center, but it has apparently been taken out of the record books with the University of Arizona. And today was the first day I'd actually noticed that was the case.
The way to think about it is that it happened, and they won it.
Yeah.
But after the fact, the way vacating things works is they just take the wins away. So for the official record books, 18 wins were taken off the books. And if you take 18 wins away from that season, they couldn't possibly have won, right? Like when it's a conference championship or something to that effect.
Right.
The Sweet 16, obviously, you made it to the Sweet 16. It happened. And then after the fact, those wins and some others were vacated and made that the Arizona does not officially have those wins in the record books. That's why if you look, a lot of times you'll see how many Pac-12 titles. There was also several Pac-12 titles that were vacated at times over the years, but that doesn't mean that they didn't win those titles.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's basically the way it works.
We might have to do a question of the day on that and see exactly. I wonder if we'd get any votes on people. If I said, how many Sweet 16s have the Wildcats been to, 21 or 20? I wonder how many people would actually say 20 because that one is vacated.
Well,
I wonder if we get any votes on that.
They've been to 21.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, because that's just facts. Now, whether or not all 21 count, that's up to, I don't know. The way that the NCAA Rules Committee works and how they determine what is worthy of taking wins away from teams and what is not is so subjective. And there are some schools that you look at, what they've been accused of and then proven to have done, and yet they kind of get a slap on the wrist, and other schools get, vacates. So who knows?
All right, 520-848-1290. Let's talk to our guy, Howie. You are on the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, guys, I meant to call you the other day, but I was at H&R Block all afternoon.
Hopefully nothing bad.
I would have rather talked to you guys than sat there for 5 hours.
Were you doing your taxes?
David. Yeah. Shit. My wife made, this appointment, and we couldn't miss it because then, you got to wait some more, and it's just agonizing. Hey, David.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you up on when I woke up, what I was thinking about, and I'm gonna take you back in history.
Ooh,
okay,
a history lesson. I love it.
Okay, get ready. Get a history lesson. Yeah, from an old man. Yeah. Okay, I'm going back to 1974. Okay, and I'm going back to before we were in the Pac. It was the Pac-8.
Okay.
And McHale was open for about a year, I think. They had opened in 73. And I was living in Tucson. I had been out of college for a little while. And we were having a tournament round there. And the two teams I went to see was Dayton and another team called UCLA.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see UCLA because of Wooden and Walton. And the talk around campus at that time was, UCLA is just going to flatten them. They were on a string of championships, that was in their line right there. And that game was one of the best games at McHale or I've seen on TV. It was a triple overtime Dayton almost knocked them out of the tournament. It was like 100 to 110. Walton scored about 20 points, and that's the year that they went on, and their string of championships was broken by NC State. You know, you've seen this thing on TV with Valvano going crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's after that championship. And the cool thing about it is, like, Dayton's history for doing this kind of stuff. I was kind of fearful about this game, you know. And another thing about it is Walton always regrets, he's talked about this, not winning that game against NC State. He said he kind of like broke Wooden's heart, you know, because that cut the string off right there. But, yeah, the Dayton, UCLA, I mean, it was probably one of the best games college basketball, triple overtime against the Redhead, and it was great. Look it up, man. It was a great game to watch. I thought, you know, Dayton knocked them off in the third round or second round. That would have been spectacular, you know. So how's that for history,
I like that. Yeah, I love getting a lesson. I love getting a history lesson.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed every minute of that game, you know. Just like I liked coming to Tucson with my grandson this last time, seeing USC and UCLA get beat, you know.
Good times, sending those LA schools off to the Big Ten the right way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, I gave the guys from the portal a bad time when the Oregon game, because I thought they let us down, but they came through this game. All those guys from the portal, you know, Bryant and KJ.
How about when it was a 3-point game, you got back-to-back baskets from who? Caleb Love and Keyshawn Johnson to get it back up to 7. Yeah. And they never really threatened again after that. The two guys that obviously have been to the championship game.
Yeah. I think that if that team played like they did against, now you got to consider who you're playing against. Against Long Beach State, we win the national championship. You know, Boswell's shooting like crazy. Love's shooting like crazy. Johnson's shooting like crazy. I mean, I missed 6 minutes of it because of this H&R Block thing. But, you know, they were up by a whole bunch of points, but everybody was clicking. You know, if they can get that team like that, you know, some of the time we're going to go to the end, you know. Could win the whole thing. But, you know, but it's good to have these guys on the bench that can come in and fill in the holes when things aren't going too well, you know. That's what they're there for.
Exactly. And even Mo Krivas, I thought, gave good minutes today. He only played 9, but he was real active at the defensive end of the floor and you know, gave you, he didn't get, I thought he had an assist, but he did not, but made 2 baskets, 4 rebounds, and 4 points in 9 minutes. That's pretty, and used 2 of his fouls, which I'm sure Kelvin would be happy with as well.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Boswell and Love. They're just inconsistent. One, you know, I was talking to JW about it before getting online, you know, and it's like one game they can be like LeBron James. And or the guy that plays for the Warriors, Curry. In another game, they can't hit the water from the beach with a boulder. You know, I just don't understand it. You know what I mean? Well, it's just weird.
Shooting is not as easy, Howie, as we want to believe that it is. No matter how good you think those guys can do it.
Well, I think, you know, not to again excuse age, but teenagers are inconsistent. That's just a rule of thumb in life and in sports. Caleb does not fall in that category, but when Kylan Boswell has a great game followed by a mediocre or a bad game, I don't think anybody should be super surprised. It's really the amount of effort and energy that he's given on the defensive end when his shot's not falling. That's the big problem. And clearly, they thought that Jaden Bradley was doing a better job of making things happen in the lane, playing great defense, and obviously bringing the ball up. So, Boswell, as we've seen in the past, didn't get a lot of second half minutes, right? But next game, maybe next game, Howie's going to be the same thing. It's just inconsistency is the standard.
You know what I like about Bradley? He's always into stuff. You look around and he's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's smart.
I like that about him.
Yeah, he's very smart defensively. He's very positional. He knows where he's supposed to be on defense and shades to the right side, clearly reads the scout. So,
Howie, we got quite a few people to get to, so we appreciate your call. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Bye.
All right, let's take a break here. We'll have more of your calls. 78-68, the final in favor of the Arizona Wildcats, on to the Sweet 16 in Los Angeles next week. It's the Meridian Wealth Management post-game show along with JW Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog in Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona, with offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona. The Eagle gives you home court advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne makes the right play in any situation. So, after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm get you the settlement you deserve. It's a slam dunk. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up? Up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options at $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Whether you're preparing for a proposal, planning a getaway, or spending time with your special someone, don't let your knee, hip, and back pain become that annoying third wheel. The Good Feet Store's arch supports can help you live the life you love 2 feet at a time. And here's a bonus. They're HSA FSA eligible. Schedule your free fitting and test walk at goodfeet.com or just drop by your nearest store. Walk-ins are always welcome. Make 2024 the year of memorable moments, not aches.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Thona Ogden Nation.
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Southern Arizona Radiology Associates have been dedicated to providing superior images and quality care for the last 35 years. They're the one you trust when you need an X-ray, CT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or MRI. They have locations in Tucson, Green Valley, and Sierra Vista. Ask your doctor to refer you to Southern Arizona Radiology Associates today. That's Southern Arizona Radiology Associates. Visit their website at sararadiology.com or call 520-335-6849 for more information.
Broadway in Tucson presents the new 2024-2025 season, featuring 6 blockbuster productions, including Mamma Mia and the Southern Arizona premieres of Clue, live on stage, Beetlejuice, Some Like It Hot, the Neil Diamond Musical, A Beautiful Noise, and Shucked. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the best prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2024-2025 season tickets today.
Most financial advisors I know have had a moment in their career where they thought, with more control, I would do things differently for my client's sake. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and our firm was created by advisors with the understanding that we need flexibility, control, and decision-making power to create the best experience for our clients. If you're an advisor interested in learning more about our growing firm, call me at 719-1433 to talk more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management postgame show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
43-39. Flyers back within 4. Cats with the ball. Love. Feed it high for Larson. Right corner for Johnson. Keyshot drives the baseline. Reverse dunk is good. Threw it down over Benikamis.
Keyshot Johnson. Tried the one dunk, that did not go well. Then got the breakaway, and I mean, absolutely put on a flight show today in Salt Lake City. 6 of 10 for Keyshot. He has 3. 13 points in 35 minutes. He had 7 rebounds, so 13 points, 7 rebounds, and had a pair of steals. The Wildcats had 9 steals on the day. And again, they matched Dayton 3 for 3. Arizona making 8. Dayton making just 7. Kobe Brea, well, he was coin flip today. He hit 4 of 8. But again, he didn't let any of those other guys get off. Nate Santos missed 2. Enoch Cheeks missed 2. Kobe Elvis missed 3. Darren Holmes, who normally he shot probably more threes today than he has in a while. He shot 4, made 2, just because they kind of needed it. They needed him to kind of try to take over in every instance in this game.
You know, I don't know how good the defense was today. Look no further than Kobe Brea's shot chart in the second half.
Yeah.
He got 4 shots up.
Yeah, only 9 for the game.
1 breakaway dunk where he wasn't being guarded. He hit 1 3 and missed 2 other threes, but the number's not makes or misses, it's attempts. 4 attempts for a guy that more or less single-handedly brought them back against Nevada the other night. They didn't let him get shots off. Like I said, Brian mentioned 11 minutes without a three-point attempt down the stretch.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very nice job. Very nice job by the Arizona Wildcats defensively in that second half.
3-point make, should I say. They attempted 4 down the stretch in the last 11 minutes, but didn't make one.
Let's update you on what's happening in stores. They've gone to a break with, I think, the under 5 break in the third quarter. Arizona hanging on to a 47-44 lead over the Orange. This is an 11-6 first-round game in Stores, Connecticut. You've got 14 points from Skylar Jones, 10 from Jada Williams. Those are your leading scores for Arizona. They lead by 3 over Syracuse. I misspoke. This is actually the second game of the day. UConn played earlier today, and they advanced, beating Jackson State out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, 86-64. Paige Beckers, 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. So UConn is 30-5, and they are awaiting the winner of this game between Arizona and Syracuse. We'll do a little live listen-in coming up for you a little bit later as we get into the fourth quarter of that game.
I just dipped my toe in, and according to Derek, Brea just had a foul, and then Esmeralda Martinez was called for an offensive foul, and that's what just happened the last 2 plays down. Ez now with 4 fouls in the game. You mentioned Courtney Blakely. She has gotten in. She's taken 3 shots today.
Yeah.
I don't know about minutes.
So Ez has 3, and
Brea has 3, and Ez has 4.
Oh boy. That's and we talked about that. That kind of was a little bit of the gist of what happened in the last game, that there was a little bit of foul trouble down the stretch. The question will be, can Arizona survive it again today? 520-848-1290. You can call us. You can text us. Like to hear from you, your thoughts on this game. Also, we've got to head on over to our Twitter account at Wildcats1290. You can chime in with your thoughts there, your top takeaways from this game. Let's talk to Paul in Phoenix. You're on Wildcats Radio 1290, the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show.
Gentlemen, wow, a lot to unpack here. Real quick, anybody who goes out to Wikipedia and tries to alter the number of Sweet 16s that we had officially, I'll go out there and switch it back.
It was already on 21 before the game was even over. I don't know who did that, but when I went to, because that's when I went to count it up, and they'd already put 2024 up there.
That's funny. Okay, so then another little tidbit. It's 1-800. Call JW. U of A fans, I'm telling you right now, if you need somebody to help talk you off the fence, if you're kind of concerned about Caleb or Kylan or anybody else on the team, call up and talk to JW for $150 an hour. He will give you the advice like you have never heard before.
Yeah,
and
my advice to everybody's the same. Breathe. Everybody breathe. Just take a breath. Just relax. Just take a breath.
Okay, so here's my day started last night because my first grader, she's 7 years old, my granddaughter, has a softball game this morning. Okay, and my daughter looks at her and says, can we drop you off and you miss your game or something? And my little granddaughter looks at her mommy and says, Mommy, I'm going to my game. You're my mom, and you're going also. So I missed the first half of the game. I had it on the radio, but I was at my granddaughter's softball game this morning, and it was well worth it. Got home in time to see the second half, on the TV and all that stuff. But that's how my day started. But it was great.
Got to sacrifice for the Grands.
Exactly, and the Grands are super important. That's their number one. But the thing here is, I'm so, again, maybe I harp on this too much. I'm so happy for Tommy. Tommy did all the things that I loved that he did, whether it was the defense for offense for defense substitution, the small ball. To me, that's Tommy. And with the help of his assistants as well, they all did a great job today. They to me, they did everything that needed to be done at the right times. When we had that little brain, that brain cramp in that first half where we decided to turn the ball over 4 times in a row, it was like, oh boy. But we weathered the storm. And to me, that's going to pay more dividends than had we blown them out by 20 and been up by 20 at halftime or something like that. So this to me was a team, all-inclusive, coaches, players, a team victory. And it showed themselves, guys, you can get into it. We can get into a fight in the alley, and guess what? You won. You won this fight in the alley. Good referees are not bad. It was on both sides. It really was. It was crazy. But they got into a dogfight, and they came out of it, and that's a good thing. And I think they need to realize, hey, you know what, guys, we're in this thing. Let's keep going. So, do we know if I can't remember if I didn't hear Brian say, is it a Thursday Saturday split for this weekend, or is it a Friday Sunday?
It's been listed as Thursday Saturday, but sometimes they change that. I don't. But I'm imagining that's what we're going with at the moment.
Looking at the LA schedule, yeah, it's always been set up, but again, they could flex that as well. Really quick on your point, Paul. I think the thing is that how many teams have you guys watched over the years where things start going sideways and then the fingers start getting pointed, right? So 4 consecutive turnovers and, oh, that was your fault, and what the hell were you thinking on that, and all that kind of stuff. The true test for teams this time of year is avoiding blaming your guy next to you and just everybody coming together and figuring out how as a group you can get over that stretch that you're having. Because clearly Arizona, when they're playing at their best, I mean, they are one of the 2-3 best teams in the country. The inconsistency has been rough for some fans, but that stretch there, really rough when you don't have those 40-point wins like the caller at 5:28 this morning pointed out. You want to see Connecticut. You want to see that 40-point margin victory like Connecticut and Houston had. But more importantly than anything, I think when you start seeing teams implode and start, blaming each other for a bad stretch for the team, just, shake it off, get to the next play, and just be smarter next time.
But then, and think also about what Tommy did when Kylan shot that early, I don't know if it was a 3-pointer or whatever, early in the shot clock he shot when I was like, oh, Kylan, come on, we need to run some clock. And Tommy had every excuse to say, hey, I'm going to keep you out. You're going to sit on the bench with me, and I'm going to leave Jaden and KJ and leave them out there and let them run it. But Coach fed Kylan's ego a little bit and said, hey, I'm putting you back in for offense. Even though you have, what do you have, 1 point, 2 points today? I'm putting you back in there. And then the next dead ball, when we went back on defense, he put Jaden, Bradley back in. And to me, that said something that Coach like, hey, Kylan, chill out. I need you still. So stay in the game. Had he left him on the bench, mentally, that may have kind of made Boswell think, wait a second, I didn't have a good game. But no, Coach trusted him enough. I need you back out there on offense. And that, to me, said something. So I was just pleased, so pleased. And you know what, guys? Survive in advance. That's the phrase I tell everybody in my family, and they all think I'm crazy, and that's how it is. But bear down, Arizona. You guys, sorry it was so early for you this morning. I'm going to give you guys a day off tomorrow and maybe even half a Monday. I expect to hear you guys at 3 o'clock on Monday.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Good to hear
Take
from
care,
you as
guys.
well.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Would you guess, J-Dub, who had the highest plus-minus today?
I would say maybe Bradley. He did play a lot of minutes.
It was actually Kylan Boswell.
Yeah, well, he only played, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
10.
And he was a part of the big lead, right? And that's the thing about plus-minus. It's a little iffy.
Deceiving, yeah.
Yeah, the big issue there is, especially when you're talking about the guys who get kept on the court when the sub. So here's the biggest problem. Just an aside real quick. Plus minus is a problem when you've got one dude in the starting lineup who gets to play with 4 bench players consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like the Suns will always have KD or Booker out there. Right. But if you're playing with the 4 guys on the bench and the other team brings their starters in and the other team might go on a run because you're playing, that kind of stuff happens pretty consistently. So I look at plus minus over the course of a season more so than isolated in one game is a good indicator. But yeah, Boswell, the team ran really well there in the first half and Boswell didn't get much time in the second half. So makes sense.
Arizona women up 51-48 on Syracuse. Just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter in Storrs, Connecticut. If you want to listen to that game, flip us off, flip on KTUC 1400, Freedom 1400. Derek Palmer has the call on that game right now.
Get 2 sets of headphones and put the right side in one and the left side in the other.
Well,
that works too.
Absolutely. If you download I don't think you can do that on the app. You'd have to have one on the app and then one on the radio or something. Or maybe if you have 2 phones.
Or maybe someone has 2 radios.
There you go. I've been known to do that.
It is 2024.
For sure. All right, let's
dust it off.
Let's talk to our guy, Doug. Doug, you're on the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, guys, bear down. Oh, man, what a day for U of A athletics. We've got the women here in a tense game coming down the stretch, and then the U of A men back in the Sweet 16. You got to love it. I might be a little distracted because I do have the game on ESPN2 here in the background. I know you guys aren't contractually allowed to do play-by-play, but if you want me to, I can give you some updates. But and I'm just to talk about that game real quick. It just seems like it's just one of those arm's length games. We've been trying to hold them off, but Syracuse is pretty good at getting to the rim, and they've been drawing a lot of fouls, and so it's got me a little concerned here. They're getting to the line a lot. We're in foul trouble, so it's going to be a toss up down the stretch. I don't know what to say, but they're battling. They're definitely battling.
Battling is not the right word. It's like a wrestling match out there, and somehow Arizona has 16 fouls. And I haven't been watching the whole game, but I've been watching the last 5 or 10 minutes, and it's super physical out there. Syracuse with 9 team fouls, and Arizona with 16. 4 starters, DK, with 3 or more right now.
Crazy. Yeah, I actually called you in the second quarter of this game. I was hoping to make my call during halftime and then focus on this. So I'm going to make it kind of short so I can really enjoy the fourth quarter. But as far as the game today, I mean, the great thing about making the Sweet 16, really for any program, is that you really can't say, at this point, the season can't be a failure. I mean, if we lose to Baylor or Clemson, I'll be really disappointed. But, you walk away with a Pac-12 regular season championship and a Sweet 16, and that's a really good year by any standard.
Yeah,
and so now I just feel like our guys can relax a little bit going forward and just play our game. Go ahead.
I've said, I said yesterday, the baseline for me is Sweet 16. If you get to the Sweet 16, I think I think you've done what this program is supposed to do every year. Anything after this is gravy. I think I echo exactly what you said. If they don't win Thursday, there's going to be disappointment because, again, I think sooner or later you got to get back to that threshold of the Final Four. Maybe not. You don't even have to. I mean, winning a national championship again, a second one would be great, but you just got to get back to the Final Four. I think if you want to keep considering yourself as a blue blood basketball program, you can't go 25 years between Final Four appearances.
There's only 5
I know, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean that's what I'm really starving for. Everyone says hey, let's win a championship. I am starving for a Final Four. I was there in Indy and I was there in Minneapolis in 2001, and I'm like, now it's just right up the road. I mean, Arizona will take over Glendale if we can get there. We're 2 wins away, but those 2 wins are going to be really tough. But before we even look forward, just looking at today, really proud of the way we came out to start the game. I mean, I was probably as vocal as anybody, just completely hating the start time for a Western team to play at 9:45 in the morning on their body clocks. You would never see them do that to Duke or Carolina or Kentucky or Kansas. You just won't. They're not going to make them play at 9:45 on their body clock. But, I was thinking about all the stuff we had going against us when we went to Boulder, coming off a triple overtime game in Salt Lake City, and then that was a late game on a Thursday, and then we had the early start on a Saturday in Boulder at elevation, and the guys didn't care, and we blew out Colorado in that one. And so it just tells me that our guys do have mental toughness because of the way they came out early. I was starting to wonder if maybe the early start was getting to them, though, when they started falling apart towards the end of the first half. Because I was actually kind of slumping in my chair, like, oh man, I'm tired already.
It's 2 p.m. local time, and we're still 40.
Local time doesn't matter.
We're still 45 minutes. Let me finish. We're still 45 minutes away from any game outside of Salt Lake City starting. It's 2 o'clock Tucson time, and 45 minutes from now, the first game that's not in Salt Lake City is starting.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
right.
nuts.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry I cut you off. I was taking that out of context. No, you're right. It makes no sense. And all these years I've been watching the NCAA tournament, they've always made a concerted effort to have the Western game start later. And it just, and I read some explanations about the TV money, and they wanted more eyeballs on Carolina, Michigan State, and that kind of thing by placing them later in the day. Some of the other programs, and that's just garbage.
It's like a backhand. It's like a backhanded slap. It's like, look, these guys are always on late at night when everybody on the East Coast is asleep. Let's put them on early in the morning when most people on the East Coast aren't even ready to get into their basketball mode. So you really can't win either way.
I mean, it was even early for Dayton. They're on East Coast time, but I mean, a 12:45 tip on their body clock is not that great, Anyway, enough of the whining. What I'm saying is we overcame that, and Ballo had an amazing start to the half and or to the game, and Krivas with some huge minutes there too. And it is, I was having those flashbacks to the Oregon game last Friday when we just completely went away from the middle. But I guess, we had to go with a smaller lineup, and of course Dayton was trying to clog the middle more. But, you still want to see that balance. And when they were coming back into the game, I would have just liked to see us, never mind all the fancy passes and trying to force the fast breaks. Just set it up, get into our half-court sets, and try to break it down that way. But thank God we had some guys that were just making plays individually with Bradley and Pella and KJ with a couple. I mean, and Love, of course.
And the good news is that even though they went small, they only took 8 3-pointers in that second half. 8 3-pointers in the second half when Ballo really wasn't on the court. So what you saw was more space for the guards to get in the lane, right? So you're used to seeing Ballo either high pick and roll at the top of the key and then rolling down towards the rim for a catch and a lot of lob finishes, or he's posting up on one of the blocks, and when he's not in there, Keyshawn's a lot more mobile. There was a lot more space for guys like Bradley to get into the lane. So they didn't settle 35 threes the last game. 8 threes in that second half where they're, basically their defense is what willed them down towards the end of the game. So I don't know. It's really more about like shot selection, as you well know, my friend, than it is about the personnel on the court. I just was glad that they didn't chuck 15 threes there in the second half. That would have been a problem.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's not just shot selection, but it's getting a shot off and keeping possession so that you can take a shot or draw a foul.
Yeah, they watched the film versus...
The turnovers are really concerning.
They watched the film versus New Mexico, and that's really what got Dayton back into the game, was they upped the pressure there in the last 7 minutes, got quite a few turnovers, and Arizona was not going to let Dayton get any kind of free looks at the rim. Their half-court defense is really what, won this game for Arizona today. So the last thing they needed to do is any kind of live ball turnovers with that 1-3-1 three-quarter court trap or whatever Dayton was running there towards the end. So ball handlers on the court everywhere. It was a smart way to finish the game.
So I want to interrupt you guys real quick here because we got breaking news out of Storrs, Connecticut. Deja Fair, the best player for the Syracuse Orange, was just taken off the court after going down at the end of the third quarter. She couldn't even put any weight on it. Looked like her right leg. She's got 19 points in the game. She is out of a 51-51 game in Storrs as we start the fourth quarter.
It was a boxing out situation, so she wasn't even really necessarily involved in the play. There was a layup there at the buzzer to give them the lead at the end of the third, and she was hurt in the scrum after the ball went up in the boxing out. So I didn't exactly see the replay, but I did see her go down just now, yeah.
Right. What I was going to say back to the men's is that this year more than any other, I'm really seeing how all the different matchups that we had with different styles of, different tempos that we played during the regular season really helped set us up for the tournament this year. Like it feels like we really did learn something from, seeing Purdue launch, like the Purdue's guards go off for 53 points, or Oregon State and Stanford, just lighting us up from the perimeter. And I'm with whoever said that earlier that, we did give up some inside buckets, even dunks, later in this game. But it's better than the alternative of giving up, the kick out wide open three, because that's how Dayton would have closed the gap the whole way. So we let them close the gap a little bit, but I think that's a lesson that we've learned the hard way through some of those regular season games.
Outstanding, Doug. Hey, we appreciate your call as always, and we look forward to talking to you about the Sweet 16 next week.
Yeah, we just lost the lead. Unfortunately, it's 53-51. But, go Cats. Let's finish this strong and have a great, two for today, hopefully. Bear down.
All right, bear down for sure. All right, J-Dub, Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Who gets it today? Pella had 7. Keyshawn had 7. Jaden 4 off the bench. Who do you like?
That's a very good question, David Kelly. I think, the standard default's always been Umar. I like to give it to the guys who don't necessarily show up on that list. So I think maybe Pella Larson today. How's that?
Pella Larson, that was going to be my choice too. So we are in agreement on that. Pella Larson is your Window Depot glass cleaner of the game for his 7-rebound performance. Window Depot, lowest prices, biggest inventory. Shop the Window Depot. All right. Final score in Salt Lake City, 78-68. We're tied at 53-53 in stores with about 8 minutes left to go. It's the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show, and you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
If there's a hot spot in your house, you may have leaky ductwork. The Department of Energy says 95% of homes do. Those leaks can pull in dirt and humidity. I'm Ron Arenas, the owner of Picture Rocks Cooling. Ask how we can tackle those leaky ducts and keep cool air in and dirt and humidity out with AeroSeal. Call Picture Rocks at 520-440-4069.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio, with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, best price, biggest inventory.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and 529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Saguaro Harley-Davidson wants your bike. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment or stop by today to receive an inspection and an offer. Whether you're looking to trade in or trade up or just looking for some extra money, we are prepared to make you a tempting offer. Don't deal with the hassle of selling it to a stranger. We're here to make the process quick and easy. Only at Saguaro Harley-Davidson or online at SaguaroHarley.com. That's SaguaroHarley.com. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. When I need a winning strategy for my team, nothing beats knowledge and skill. That's why I recommend Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for all your home service needs. Having personally witnessed the impact of hard work and dedication, Right Way brings the same commitment to your home's comfort. Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, their team always delivers excellence. With a legacy of quality service since 1959, you know you're in good hands. So give your home the best. Choose Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Call or text 520-640-CATS or visit rightwayac.com.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
You want to protect her. You'll give anything to make sure nothing harms her. Every minute together makes unforgettable memories. Except that time you parked her under that tree and
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Sorry, we'll never speak of it again. But remember who came to her rescue? Recon Auto Detailing. Arizona's premier auto detailing company comes directly to you. We'll make your masterpiece shine like it should, and with a monthly maintenance package, we'll keep it that way. Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in-ready homes and special incentives. Live rockandk.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
The Meridian Wealth Management postgame show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bennett out on top for Elvis, looking for Holmes, and they get it to him inside. Has the ball knocked away and stolen by KJ Lewis. Arizona ball backcourt, and there's the freshman again in the middle of the action.
That was the only steal for KJ Lewis, but again, he was fabulous off the bench. In 16 minutes, he had 7 points, 2 for 2 from the field, hit a 3, 2 for 3 from the line, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. So the 2 guys off the bench today, Jaden Bradley and KJ Lewis, combined for 5 blocks and 4 steals defensively for this team.
I mean, I think we've said it since the preseason. KJ Lewis is probably the most impressive defensive freshman guard I've seen here in a minute. It's been a minute. Like, guys don't come out of high school looking like that. And as far as Jaden Bradley goes, I mean, he deferred, right? First half of the season, he wasn't looking for any offense. He's just coming out there, not turning the ball over. What did he go, like 8 games during that one stretch without a turnover, like 20 assists and no turnovers? And just incredible, solid lockdown, fundamental, move your feet, stay in front of your man defense. Those 2 guys, DK, off the bench, I would like somebody to point to 2 better guards defensively off the bench for any team in the country right now. It's just so impactful to have them be able to come in and make such a difference like they did today.
5 minutes to go in stores. Arizona 60, Syracuse 59 is the score. Let's go back to Salt Lake City and to the podium in the interview room. Hear from Tommy Lloyd and the players, Caleb Love, Jaden Bradley after the ball game.
Really proud of our guys. Dayton's a heck of a ball club. And, I was hoping that we could really come out and get after them defensively and really, just play with a bunch of active energy and kind of get them on their heels. And we did. Unfortunately, they responded. And but that's how these games go. And we've been really talking about just being steady, staying locked in, obviously not getting too high, not getting too low. And even as a staff, we have a pretty active, emotional staff. So we've talked about us kind of taking a breath and just, helping our guys stay in that zone and really proud of him. I mean, JB played amazing today and really did a great job controlling that game. Caleb, got off to a great start, had a rough patch, but he bounced back from that, that's what winners do. So really, really proud of these guys and we're excited and honored to be able to continue to play.
Thank you, Coach. And now we will open up for questions for our student athletes right here.
Jason Shear, Wildcat Authority. Jaden and Caleb, what goes into being able to show poise? They make that 10-0 run down the half and get a little bit closer in the second half, and then you guys kind of never wavered.
I'll just say, shout out to our coaches. Coach Murph and Coach Ken did a great job with the scout. And I just think halftime we came out, trusted the plan, even though Dayton came back with a run. And, we just stayed poised.
I think that's key. Just staying calm in those moments when they kind of making a run, not panicking, and so I think that's what we did, and we stuck to the plan like JB said, and we got the job done.
Okay, front left, please.
Hey, Hayden Silly, Arizona PBS. Jaden and Coach, I wanted to ask you about Caleb's run in the first half. 13 points, 5 of 7. When he gets it going like that, just what is it able to do for you guys offensively? How does it open things up?
Caleb's a great player. He can get it going at any time. So, just playing within the offense and, him fighting the shots. And, I think Big O does a great job kind of creating double teams and is able to get Caleb, get him going. So,
I mean, for me, it's pretty simple. I mean, obviously he's a great player, and I knew he was going to play good today. I mean, I knew he had the look, it's a rough patch for these guys. Caleb's been through a lot in his career, and, you hit another rough patch where, you start getting a bunch of accolades and honors, and, you start thinking about a lot of things. And I think he just had to play his way through it a little bit. And I knew today he was going to play good. There's just no way he wasn't going to play good on this stage, after, he had a good stretch in the Long Beach State game and then didn't play great in the Pac-12 tournament. And the dude's a baller, and I have complete trust in him.
Okay, front right.
Davis Domestic, the Crimson. Question for Caleb. Wanted to congratulate you. With today's scoring output, you are now amongst active players. You have the most points in March Madness history. What about March and this time brings out the best in you?
I think, it's just a big stage. Me wanting to play in these moments, these big-time games. And, I've dreamed of this as a kid, watching March Madness, wanting to be on this stage. And I think I just kind of rise to the occasion. Whatever I can do to, get the team to win, whether that's scoring, rebounding, playmaking, whatever I got to do, defense, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Okay, third row, right.
Brian Peterson with AZ Desert Storm. Caleb, you had that game 2 years ago against Baylor where you guys were up big, and then you went out of the game, and they were able to come back. You win in overtime and all that. Being able to keep yourself in the game and be able to help the team get through it. I mean, did any of that come into your head?
No, I wasn't really thinking about that 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. But I was just trying to, figure any way I can get this team to win as far as helping this team. And Coach Lloyd has stuck with me all year and kind of, keeping me, team-oriented. And so that's what I've been focusing on. And, we've been succeeding so far.
Okay, we are going to go. Do you have a follow-up?
Sorry, for Tommy. The second half, you started to take the air out of the ball toward the end. What was that? What was the point of that? And then also just going with the small lineup that you were using down the stretch.
Well, I thought they got pretty comfortable against the looks that we were giving us, and obviously, we knew it was going to be an interesting dynamic, when you have a mobile pick and pop, kind of athletic big like Holmes, and then you have a big hoss like Big O. There's going to be some give and take, and our plan with Big O really got us off to a good start early. They got a little comfortable and started attacking a little bit. So I just wanted to give them a different look, and I think we kind of did it right for a media because I wanted to get a look at it, and then it worked. I think we got a turnover the first time we did it, and so I was like, hey, let's just ride this thing out and see if we can kind of change the course of the game, and maybe they had to start attacking us a little bit differently and get them out of their rhythm.
Okay, front left, please. Or
Coach, when Dayton went on that.
We'll hold the coach's questions till after we're done with the student athletes, if that's fine, please. Let's go to Zoom really quick. We have a Dan Totoro on Zoom. Do you have any questions for our student athletes?
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. To both of the student athletes, just what you can say about, obviously as you advance to the Sweet 16, there's been adversity at different times this season. Can you pinpoint a moment that you felt like kind of was an adjustment point or a turning point for this team that you can see helped you get to where you are right now?
I think we've been doing it all season long, making adjustments, adapting to certain, teams or, schemes that we've been playing against. I don't think it's really was a turning point. I think Coach Lloyd has been, working on our culture, working on, different ways we can, attack teams and things like that. So I think we've been doing that all year. We've been working on it all year, and it's been preparing us for this March Madness.
Jaden?
I just feel like just coming out and after a tough loss or something like that, like teams are throwing different zones at us and stuff. We're doing a great job coming in practice, open-minded, just working and trusting each other and trusting our coaches and our game plan.
I mean, I'll add to that. There was a moment when we were over in Israel and Abu Dhabi. I mean, I think we all knew we had a special group. I mean, the connection we had and we were able to get with each other over there and just – it was really special, because people were maybe questioning how we were going to be chemistry-wise, and these guys are elite with chemistry, and I'm really proud of them, and I'm just proud to be associated with them.
Okay, one last question for our student athletes, John.
John Coon, Associated Press. Caleb and Jaden, when towards the last 2 minutes of the first half, you guys committed 4 turnovers as a team. but in the second half, you only had 4 turnovers the entire half. What did you kind of do to adjust to their on-ball pressure, cut down on the turnovers in the second half?
Just trusting in the plan. We watched the clips at halftime. They came out pressuring the ball, trying to turn us over. So I feel like second half we did a great job with our press break. Just not dribbling too much, passing it. Taking time off the clock.
Yeah, pretty much same thing what JB said. I think we adapted to what they were doing, kind of running and jumping sporadically, and we was just trying to get open for JB having outlets, and for Colin and Pella just being open and available, so we can get the ball up the floor.
Okay, we will now excuse our student athletes. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Congratulations. Good luck next week. Okay, we'll start with questions for Coach Lloyd. We'll start here in the bottom.
Coach, when Dayton goes on that 10-0 run to close the half, how are you able to kind of regroup and not let emotions take over in that moment?
Well, you got to know it's going to come. You kind of know it's going to come, so you kind of pre-plan for it, and when we scouted them, one of the things we picked up on is they were a team of runs both ways. They had a number of significant 8-0, 10-0 runs, and then they'd also given up a number of those as well. And we saw it in the Nevada game. I'm just excited. I'm relieved, excited, however you want to put it, that we got out to a good lead so we could kind of absorb that run, because they maybe had to go to their press earlier than they'd wanted. And sometimes if you don't get that big lead early, so you get it a little bit later, they go to a press, and then it feels like it can unravel, and you don't have time to go regroup at halftime. And our guys did a good job of just regrouping at halftime. We kind of changed our plan of attack a little bit, and just played with better fundamentals overall and handling their pressure.
Okay, third row, right.
Tommy, it looked like Kylan might have hurt his hand early in the game or whatever, and he was out for a little bit, but then when he came back in, his shot wasn't off, and he wasn't showing that aggressiveness. Was that when you decided you wanted Jaden to be the guy doing that?
Well, I was just kind of watching how the game was just playing, and it's nothing. Kylan made 2 huge free throws in that game, and I kind of ended up with a lineup out there that was doing well, and sometimes you ride that, and I thought JB was doing a really good job against that pressure up top of handling it and not panicking, and even kind of went at him a couple times, and those are high-risk plays when you're attacking a press like that, but that's how you go. You want to go downhill with the press and before they can set their defense. So I was just, proud of the way JB responded. Kylan was awesome on Thursday, and when you have a great team, it's different guys' nights on different nights. So just really proud of the whole team and how they handled it, and Kylan was great in the locker room, so no concerns from me.
Okay.
Yeah, Tommy. Steve Rogaro on SportsTucson.com. If you can expand on Jaden's play, all year he's been biding his time. Today was that time.
Yeah, you can maybe say he's biding his time, but when you're on an elite team, guys have to make sacrifices, and that's the only way it works. And JB's character is so high, and he's an absolute winner. I told him after the game, I appreciate him, hanging with it, and I appreciate him hanging with me. He's going to be an elite player. He's going to end up being one of the Arizona greats at the end of the day. And him accepting that role this year has allowed us to be the team we are today. So I'm really thankful for that.
Okay, third row, right.
Coach, wanted to ask you about 2 players. It seemed like especially there was a span in the first half where Krivas played some of his best basketball of the year, especially defensively, and then just thoughts on Keshad today.
Keshad's, he's a dog. He's a winner. That dunk attempt was crazy, but I also think it sets a little bit of a tone. He helps us at both ends of the floor, and it's the things we can incorporate in our defensive game plan because of him. He guards like a guard, tough enough to guard bigs, makes him elite, gets tough rebounds, finishes around the basket when he has to, makes a timing three. I thought that 3 he hit at the start of the second half was huge. I think we were 6, and he put it back up to 9 right away, and that just, gave us a little more breathing room to get settled in the second half. So he's an absolute winner. And Big Mo is really coming around. Big Mo is going to be a great player. He's just going through some of the normal growing pains, of a young player from Europe playing high-level college basketball. And I really think he and Umar can be a heck of a 1-2 punch. We've really been encouraging him just to be more physical. And we really wanted, Holmes, when O's out of the game, we wanted his rest to be going against Krivas, and we wanted to go right at him. And I thought he had a couple of great plays. He had a finish early that just kind of rolled around and luckily went in, and then he had a big dunk on kind of a broken play. So and then he had some good plays defensively as well. So yeah, those guys really contributed.
You have time for one more here.
Hey, Coach, Davis Domestic, the Crimson. Your bench outscored the Dayton bench 23-2 today. We've talked about JB. We've talked about Big Mo. So who else are you looking for to step up these next couple of games?
Well, I mean, we have a pretty solid 8-man rotation, and the beautiful thing is, I don't have to sit there and worry about one guy playing great for us to win, and that's a real luxury. I thought KJ's minutes were really impactful today. He didn't necessarily have a great game on Thursday, but he bounced back, and that's what winners do. I mean, and I know it's an old cliche, but every dog has its day. And in our program, I guess it's every cat has its day. And so really proud of these guys. It's an absolute group of winners, and we can't wait to play next week.
Okay, one last question in the back right there, Coach.
Yeah, Tommy, in the second half, I think you told the guys to relax a little, 3 times. How do you tell a team to relax when you guys push and like to push?
Well, the first thing you do, I got to tell my staff to relax. They get pretty excited. And then, I mean, listen, you can play fast with great fundamentals. And that's what we strive to do. And at the end of the game, when you get that lead, you want to manage them. I think Kylan took a tough, kind of shot that he's capable of making, but it was early in the shot clock. We hadn't made any passes. I think you got to make them come out and guard you a little bit more. You're getting closer to the bonus. I mean, that's how you need to execute at the end of the games. You just got to have a great understanding of time and score, but you also have to have enough courage to make good plays. So it's a little bit of a fine line. But I thought our guys did a good job as a group today managing that game and kind of handling the pressure and all the scenarios at the end.
All right,
Okay,
that
thanks,
is Tommy Lloyd and the players at the podium after the game today in Salt Lake City, 78-68. Want to update you now on what's happening with Arizona women's basketball. We mentioned Deja Fair had gone out with an injury, but she came back. She has scored the last 9 points of this game and flipped what was a 3-point Arizona advantage into a 4-point Syracuse lead with 45 seconds to go. The Orange lead the Wildcats 70-66. They're in a review right now of an out of bounds ball to find out who knocked the ball out of bounds. It looks like this is a call that's going to go against the Wildcats, and so Syracuse will have the ball. Let's go ahead and take a break here. Get the break in. We'll come back. If there's more basketball to play, we'll go to stores and find out for the conclusion of this game. 70-66, Wildcats trailing. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Get ready to score big at Champs Kitchen and Bar, your new go-to spot for sports and fun. Join the grand opening for specials now through April the 8th. $5 pizzas, $5 burgers, $5 pitchers. It is a slam dunk deal you don't want to miss. Champs Kitchen and Bar, the new MVP of sports bars here in Tucson. Check them out, 7625 North La Cholla Boulevard.
Buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
striving to be the best never grows old. And that's especially true right now during O'Reilly Chevrolet's 100th anniversary celebration. Great customer service is what we've hung our cowboy hat on for more than a century. Even today, we have a new inventory arriving with factory incentives available, and there are great deals to be had. Check them out at O'Reilly.com, call 747-8000, or come to our party on the 23rd to Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Southern Arizona and O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really matter, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
At Standard Restaurant Supply, their vision and number one goal is to improve the lives of their customers and clients by providing a better culinary experience. Standard Restaurant Supply, if it's in a restaurant and not food, they have it. Open to the public, no membership fees, and they offer bulk store pricing without the bulk store purchase. Open Monday through Saturday at 601 South Cherry Avenue or call 885-2345. Standard Restaurant Supply is a proud sponsor of the U of A Radio Sports broadcast.
At Nova Home Loans, we believe everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy the independence that comes with home ownership. Whether you're a first-time home buyer who needs down payment assistance, have less than perfect credit, or looking to refinance, Nova has a variety of home loan programs for your unique situation. Visit NovaHomeLoans.com or call 800-955-9125 to learn more. Not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Rates and available loan programs are subject to change without notice. NMLS 3087, BK 0902429, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. When I need a winning strategy for my team, nothing beats knowledge and skill. That's why I recommend Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for all your home service needs. Having personally witnessed the impact of hard work and dedication, Right Way brings the same commitment to your home's comfort. Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, their team always delivers excellence. With a legacy of quality service since 1959, you know you're in good hands. So give your home the best. Choose Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Call or text 520-640-CATS or visit rightwayac.com.
The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style, and top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
They get it inbounds, and Cheeks will run it the other way. Cheeks down to the right wing, bounce inside for Holmes, stolen away by Bradley, and off to KJ Lewis, and a foul on Dayton. Oh my goodness, Jaden Bradley, the sophomore out of Rochester, off the bench today. He has done just about everything. That might be the play of the game.
Now, that was the one you said was actually they ruled a block versus a steal.
That's what they said on the broadcast, because
Yeah.
they originally had him with 4 steals and 2 blocks, but his final stat line was 3 blocks and 3 steals. So Brian and Rhino, after the game, talked about that they must have they got the word that the official scorers put that as a block. Yeah.
All right, so update from Stores. We've got 25 seconds to go. Syracuse is leading Arizona 72-66. Deja Fair has scored 11 straight points in this game for the Orange. She's got 30 points in the game. We're right now in another official review on an out of bounds or a ball out of bounds that they're trying to decide if it went off of Jada Williams, if she lost control of the ball, or it was knocked out of bounds. So we'll find out here momentarily It is going to be Arizona ball, it looks like. So let's listen in now to Derek Palmer, and as we go to 25 seconds to go in this game.
Well, Derek's about a minute ahead of that.
Oh, are they?
So they just hit a 3, and it's 69-72, and they just fouled.
Okay. So let's go to Derek then. All right, so the Arizona Wildcats women's basketball season comes to an end in Storrs, Connecticut, as they fall in the round of 64 to the Orange. And what an unbelievable comeback from injury late by Deja Fair, the star for the Syracuse Orange, and she finished with 32 points. Pretty impressive there by that young lady.
Yeah, I mean, I had it in queue, so I was listening to Derek the last hour, and he seemed pretty adamant that the calls on Ez were not. He was not happy with the calls.
Well, Derek's never happy with the calls, but
but she fouled out about 8 minutes ago.
Yeah.
DK, what I'm saying is that not having her in down the stretch potentially is what led to a lot of those buckets. So yeah, I mean, the whole season long they've only run with 6-7 players. Foul trouble, very physical game. I mean, what can you say? What can you say about Adia Barnes' coaching ability, her ability to get the young ladies, the ladies on her team to all rally together through all the adversity they faced all year long? Not a lot of people thought they might get in the NCAA tournament. Then they win the game in the first 4. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing short of a great success as far as I'm concerned. And that conference might have been the best Pac-12 women's side of things that we've seen potentially ever. So
yeah,
great season. I know it started out potentially with maybe a little bit more promise with the full roster before injuries and exoduses, but 18-16 on the season, just a great success overall for Coach Barnes.
Yeah, it's rough. Helena Puello in tears after that game. 24 points for Skylar Jones. She went 8 of 14 from the field. 8 of 10 from the line, 14 for Helena, 14 for Jada Williams. But the Wildcats come up short, 74-69 against Syracuse, and their season comes to an end. Let's take, we got some bills to pay still. Let's first do best bets here. Let's do best bets. J-Dub, we'll find out if we won any money on this game.
Tucson, what happened with today's best bets? Did the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, we'll start with the under because everybody won on that today. It was 150, and this game came in at 146, if I'm correct, 146. So it came in under, so that's the winning play there. The Wildcats win by 10. Kelvin and I laid U of A in the number, 9.5, so that's a double winning day for Kelvin and I. J-Dub took Dayton in the 9.5.
I took actually 7.
Okay.
That's the number I said.
Okay.
7 is
You
what I
said
thought
U of A
Arizona would win
by 7. Okay.
Correct.
All right. But that is a losing bet on the board. So that
I always give a specific number.
Yes.
I don't give over or under. I always give a specific number. I said Arizona would win by 7. They won by 10.
Okay. There you go. All right. So Kelvin makes a little leeway, trying to get back into this thing with a pair of wins by K-Rock today. Those are your best bets.
Those are today's best bets. They're brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
78-68, Arizona wins it. Let's check in on our keys to the game. I believe it was Kelvin first today.
Wildcats fans, how did today's keys to the game go for the Wildcats? Keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
I think guard play will be key. It will be in this game. They do a lot of changing defenses with their pressures and their zone and in their zones. I think the guard play, being smart, working through that is going to be important. I also feel like that we have to play DeRon Holmes one-on-one in the post. I feel like when you double him, he sprays that ball out to guys, knocking down threes, and it make them a better team than what they actually are. I think if you play these guys head up, one-on-one, it'll make it a lot more difficult for those guys to be able to score. And again, lock in on the shooters on the perimeter. I don't think you can come off and help like some of the defense we were doing early in the year where we were over-helping because we didn't know what guys needed help. We were just trying to overdo our job. I think you have to be really smart and stay connected to these three-point shooters and don't allow those guys to get hot from out there because, to me, that's the only way they can win this game. No disrespect to Holmes. Love him. He's an Arizona kid, but he's going to have a lot on his hands dealing with Barlow. I throw one more key. Get the ball to Barlow and force and get him in foul trouble. Get DeRon Holmes in foul trouble. Make him have to play against the big body, the weight of Barlow, wear his legs down so he cannot be effective late in the game.
So is Barlow the guy that has to guard Deuce one-on-one?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Barlow will be in there on the post. I don't think he can bag Barlow down. I just don't. I've watched him play. And I don't think he has the strength to bag Barlow down. I think he may go into maybe looking for that three-point shot. They use him on pick and rolls to really try to get Barlow switched off of him. So we're going to have to do a great job of Barlow getting back to him in the post. But with that being said, I think Keyshot and some of our other guards actually are strong enough to push him and keep him from getting great post position. But, yeah, it's going to be some work for our big guy.
Yeah, that was going back to what we said at the top of the show, that was the matchup, I think, defensively for Arizona was how they tried to exploit Oumar Ballo with getting DeRon Holmes out on the edge, pick and rolls, and getting him away from the basket and making him.
They first started with Holmes in the post. They tried that, and then, as Kelvin said, he couldn't put any kind of muscle on Ballo. He couldn't move Ballo at all.
Right.
They tried the first, 4 touches that Holmes got. I was in kind of the mid-post area. It was about 12, 13 minutes into the game when they started running a lot more of that high pick and roll with him being as the roll man, and they got a lot more success out of that, for sure.
And there was one play early where they forced him out, and he made a nice move, got Ballo to come out and guard him on the perimeter, and he kind of just went right by him on the baseline for an easy basket.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
He's a really good basketball player. So, you're talking about a 2010 guy who's a potential All-American, all those things. I mean, clearly he was the focus of Arizona's defense today, and it was really not one guy. It was 5 guys, right? I mean, all 5 guys, especially in that second half when they had Keyshot in there, because the guards got switched on him quite regularly and held their own outside of one play.
My keys were, well, this is a team that shoots 9 or makes 9 threes a game. I think you can live with Brea getting his. My worry is the other guys getting involved. And so, you're going to want to definitely defend the three-point line and defend Brea, but I think you definitely have to be more mindful of some of those other guys. Don't let them get into the 3-4 made 3 categories to go along with the 5 or 6 that Brea's going to make, because if you get them now up into that 13-14 category, you might lose this game today. So be more mindful of the other three-point shooters is probably my number one key to this game. And then just like what you said there in terms of Oumar Ballo, I'd like to see Oumar Ballo with closer to 10 shots in this contest. You're going to live with them fouling him. That's what they're going to do. You'll get to the line, get to the bonus, because, again, when this team shoots a lot of free throws, they're going to win basketball games, is Arizona. And the stat that everybody was talking about all week long, this team is 19-1 when Kylan Boswell scores in double digits. And so let's have a little bit of that tonight. Kylan Boswell with a nice 15-point performance is going to get you to where you need to go, and that's the Sweet 16. Well, again, it was one of those games where some of that didn't happen. You didn't get Ballo to more than 5 shots.
You're never going
Kylan
to when he plays 22 minutes.
No, not at all. But you still found a way to get a win because of what you got off your bench from guys like Jaden Bradley and KJ Lewis. And again, 4 made threes by Kobe Brea. No one else had more than 2.
I look at it quite simply. If Steph Curry doesn't score 30, the Warriors can't win. That's their system. That's not the system here. That's not the way Coach Lloyd runs his offense. So it's really who's open. You're always going to see one guy get 21 night. You used to hey, nobody thought Boswell could score 20. He did it on 19 shots. Won't put that in there as well. But it's really just the hot hand, how the defenses are playing them. Clearly, Ballo had it going 4 for 5.
Yeah.
Kind of same thing we've seen these last couple of weeks. You would like to see 10. I mean, you nailed it on your keys as far as what you would like to see in a standard 32-minute game out of Oumar Ballo. And the way that the Dayton Flyers started running their offense, it was just better suited to have Keyshawn in there at the 5, and that's how they finished the game. Obviously, Pella never came off the court.
No.
3 minutes. He played
37 minutes tonight for Pella Larson.
Yeah, almost always leads the team in minutes.
Yep. Your keys, J-Dub.
Obviously, my keys are very similar to you guys. Number one, they only got 6 players, literally 6 players. 28, 29, 31, 31, and 32 minutes per game is what their 6-man rotation runs. So even though they're trying to slow it down, they're going to have some full court pressure. They got to slow Arizona down. You got to run on these guys. You got to run at every opportunity. You got to put rim pressure on. You got to get those easy buckets, because that's not a great half-court defense. In fact, it's the 4th worst at-large defense, half-court defense in the nation of all the at-large teams in the tournament. However, they don't foul. Holmes has played 101 games, guys. He's fouled out 1 time. This is the 3rd best team in the country at fouls per possession. So you got to make sure you put rim pressure on. They haven't seen anything like they're going to see today offensively. Houston's got none of that. LSU's got none of that. This is the best offensive team that Dayton's play. Show it to them. Number 2, obviously stay with the shooters. 40% from the field as a team from deep, guys. That's number 3 nationally. And finally, you got to work the offense. You got to get open looks. That half-court defense, like I said, not a great half-court defense, but they do play smart defense. They don't commit fouls. Just make sure with that slippery, sticky new ball, the dumb nets and all that stuff, just make sure that you're cognizant of what's going on. Take care of the ball. And like DK said, don't throw it all over the place. Less than 10 turnovers today. And those are my keys to a win over the Flyers.
Well, again, 15 turnovers, but you won. 29% 3 for Dayton, so that was a win. I didn't. What were your thoughts on the Nets? I didn't really notice.
They were fine.
They were fine.
Yeah, they didn't have that same issue from the other night. I think the turnovers are fine too. Outside of that stretch in the first half, they just forgot how to play basketball for a second, which clearly wasn't necessarily an issue today against Dayton. But DK, if you have 3, 4, 5-minute stretches where you turn the ball over 5, especially live ball turnovers against a more athletic team that can get out and take more advantage of those turnovers, that's a big problem. You got to be smart there. And maybe one of the reasons I brought Steph up is maybe people don't know this story, but Steph Curry wasn't always the Steph Curry we know. his first 3 or 4 years in the league, he liked a lot of behind-the-back fancy passes. He was averaging close to 5-6 turnovers per game, David Kelly. Steve Kerr came in and he said, keep it simple, stupid. You don't need to be making all these fancy passes. You don't have to get on the highlight package every single night for the fanciest pass anybody in Warriors gear has seen. Just make the right play at the right time. So same thing. The cross-court one-handed bounce passes through 3 defenders from Caleb. You don't need that when you're up 14.
All right, let's get a break in here. We will come back. Final break of the night. Let you hear from a few more people in the locker room, give you your scoreboard, and put a wrap on this one. It is a 78-68 win for the Arizona men over Dayton. They are on to the Sweet 16. The Arizona ladies, however, fall against Syracuse 74-68. Their season, or 69, sorry, 74-69. The women's season comes to an end in the round of 64. It's the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcats fans, that's a look at your keys to the game. They're brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
This just in, Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit.
Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Donna Ogden Nation.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vale School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & K with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
It's a party be 100 years in the making, and all of Tucson is invited. Saturday, March 23rd, starting at 11 a.m., we'll kick off our 100-year anniversary party at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Along with a Chevy Classic Car Show, there'll be food trucks, balloon twisters, a caricature artist, and much more. Our cake cutting ceremony will start at 5 p.m., and our price cutting, well, that's been going on for more than a century. So put it in your cell phone for the 23rd and see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or go to O'Reilly.com for more details. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer looking for quality car parts in Tucson, look no further. Advance Auto Parts has 6 Tucson locations with over 75 years in business. Advance Auto Parts is the largest car parts retailer in the U.S., and customers know they can trust their products, like Die-Hard batteries. Now with free installation, only found at Advance Auto Parts stores. Take advantage of our same-day delivery and pickup. Just visit our website at stores.advanceautoparts.com. And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Advance Auto Parts, for all your car repair needs. Now a proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Caleb between the rings now. Working down to the left wing, double team to Johnson straight away. Key shot for 3, and he gets it. Keyshawn Johnson with Alexis of Tucson Charity 3.
Keyshawn Johnson, that was his only 3. He scored 13 points in 35 minutes. Wildcats win it 78-68 over the Dayton Flyers out of the Atlantic 10. Arizona on their way to the Sweet 16 for the 21st time.
6-0.
6-0 is the Pac-12.
Correct.
Yes. Undefeated so far in the NCAA tournament. That's pretty nice. We'll take that.
It's nice in the final season, David Kelly.
Yes, it is. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. A national championship would be even more beautiful than that. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Let's talk to Danny. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
What? Hey, good afternoon, guys. So I reported to J-Dub when he answered. I haven't heard any of the show this afternoon, but I did listen all morning. Now I have not much voice left. Hey, you know what negative I'm going to say today? You already know, J-Dub. Nothing. The thing we said about being the first game, on the, it's terrible, it's a sham, whatever. But you know what? One thing we got out of it is, well, we're the first team in the next weekend, and we got to hear Clark, Charles, and Wally and what they say, and I listen to them intently about any college basketball. And what did we hear? Did you guys hear any of it? See it?
I was working. No.
Yeah, no.
All praise, all praise. You know where Charles is with it, but all praise. And I like part of what was said was this was a perfect test for us. This isn't 2 years ago when Houston punched us in the mouth and it took to overtime in the second round to get by. This is, I screenshot every TV timeout and I compare it. Where are we in field goals, 3-point field goals, assists, turnovers, blocks, rebounds, points in the paint? This is a good game. Talk to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, outside of that stretch there, what was it, like 12 minutes left in the first half? They kind of got a little loose with the ball, but I was just mostly impressed with the defense, Danny. I mean, this team, everybody, every talking head who doesn't watch basketball and just looks at stats across the nation will say, Arizona, high-tempo team, they're really good at scoring. You got to slow them down. They don't talk about how good this is like the 6th-ranked national defense in the country, according to KenPom and all these other advanced metrics. So the defense is going to be how far they carry them, and really impressed with the defense today, really impressed with the defense on Thursday. It's going to go a long way if they keep playing like that.
And I was as well. I remember somewhere midway through the first half, just watching Keyshawn's intensity on defense. Like he was locking down 17 feet from the rim. When the game ended with my buddies, I said, let's look at Jaden. Let's look at Jaden's line before they came back and put that up. I said, right, we know he's a stat filler, but look what he had: 4 steals, 2 blocks. Oh, he had a turnover and 2 personal fouls. And the Kylan thing, yeah, he's 18. He went out and shot lights out last game, and guess what he's done for the last 2 games? Watch the games and feel it. Fine. Any of you guys doubt him next game? I don't.
I don't
Not
either.
at all.
No, I mean he's been real. Again, that's what you want from these guys that have been there, done that. It's that time of year. It's the time to play, and he's been very consistent in that respect.
Yeah, and Pella, I mean, we saw the numbers creeping up, but look at his game. Look how he got that charge late in the game. My biggest personal thing was two things. I've never ever had a Sweet 16 shirt because they go to the Final Four, I go. Right now, I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to stay with over there next weekend.
Oh, boy.
But I'm going to get a Sweet 16 shirt.
All right.
I want a Sweet 16 shirt, and I've never had one. And I'm telling buddies, you could go over by Grant west of the freeway and close your eyes and smell your way to the weed on the screen shops right now. You know what I mean? They're making those right now. Seriously. Another one was, as I got late in the game, I'm going, okay, now I need my 9.5. And on those last two inbounds, 10 seconds ago, I'm talking to my boy. I'm going, can we just steal this inbound and we knock it out? Can we please? Because they're going to throw some prayer up there. And I had a pretty good sized number on this game sitting by itself, and we stole the inbound pass, secured my 9.5 by those shinny chin.
Did you get those 19 holes in before the sun went down yesterday?
I played 24. Now, because of the scheduling of the NCAA, we did not play this morning. We're first tee time out at our place Saturday and Sunday. So where do you suppose I'm going now?
All right. Well,
we're going to play some golf.
Hit him.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for squeezing me in. You guys work your asses off, and I know it's appreciated because I talk to a bunch of people about, your show, and we listen to your show. And that's not some pie in the sky statement, J-Dub. So I appreciate you. Enjoy some of your weekend, and I'll be looking for you next Monday.
All right, Danny, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hit them straight. 520-848-1290. 78-68, Arizona beats Dayton. Let's hear from Pella Larson after the ball game tonight in Salt Lake City.
Oh, man, I didn't even know it was 3, honestly. But, we were just turning the ball over. So we just had to stop doing that. In halftime, we talked about it. Second half, I think we only had 3 turnovers. So that was a big part of it. We just switched some things in our press break to take the pressure off.
What was working to build that 17-point lead in the first half?
Oh, definitely our aggressiveness on the defensive end. I mean, we were pressuring. They didn't really have an answer. They made a couple shots. They're 5-man, but we adjusted to that too. And, it was just the energy on defense.
I wanted to ask you about doing this in Utah where you started your college career. Does that make it even more special for you, just being so familiar with this area?
I guess you could say so. I got a few people here, that came out and supported me and stuff like that. But it's special anywhere we go. Arizona is like a show, and we're going to take this show all the way.
What was the mentality? Is there fighting back and making it in the game there with 6, 7, 8 minutes left to play?
Just take care of the ball, poise, play on 2 feet. Like, no play is worth a turnover. No play is that important to turn the ball over. We knew it was our ball and a jump ball, so worst case, we just hold on to it. Mainly just take care of it and play the free throw game, really.
Who did you have here from Utah?
Harrison, my old teammate, and then obviously Rylan Jones played for Sanford. They played here too, and a lot of guys moved on too, but they're friends and common friends like that.
What is the feeling to move on to the Sweet 16?
It feels great. We're really excited to be back. I feel like it's been a journey to come back here, but I think the journey only has made us stronger, and this team is ready for it, you can tell.
Pella Larson there in the locker room, 13 points for Pella Larson, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Again, stuffing the stat sheet in Arizona's 78-68 win. Let's take a list of the scoreboard around
The Pac-12 scoreboard is brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
Around the NCAA, so both the games in Salt Lake City were early today, and the second game goes to Gonzaga by 21, 89-69 The Zags are on to the Sweet 16. So, again, the Mark, or I don't know if you want to call it the Mark Few coaching tree or the Dan Monson coaching tree, he's got two guys in the Sweet 16 as Gonzaga advances with their win. Anton Watson had 21 points. Those are the only two finals on the board. First half, Michigan State up 12.
12.
On North Carolina.
12.
How about that? That's pretty impressive. Later on, Washington State, Iowa State, Oakland, North Carolina State, Texas, Tennessee, Duquesne, Illinois, and Oregon plays later on this evening. That'll be a 6:40 start our time. So another 3 hours before Oregon plays against Creighton. Arizona women fall to the Syracuse Orange, 74-69. Their season ends at 18-16, 24 for Skylar Jones, 14 for Elena Puello, 14 for Jada Williams. We will have the postgame reaction for that later on our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. So look for that. Arizona awaits the winner of tomorrow's game between Clemson and Baylor. Any thoughts, J-Dub, on who might win that game?
No, I don't really want to predict who's going to win, but I think I'd rather see Baylor just because, not just for the future matchups that we're going to see between these two teams down the road, but because there's a lot of tie-ins. Kelvin knows a lot about that program, and it's a very solid defensive team. Clemson, I quite honestly have not seen much this year. My whole family's all Clemson people. That's why my sister's first words were beat Duke, because her grandpa bounced her on his knee when my dad was a professor at UNC, but they were all from Clemson. But their basketball team this particular year, I have not seen too much. I would probably rather see Baylor just for the name sake. But as far as matchups, I'll have to tell you on Monday. We'll have to go do some research tomorrow.
All right, it'll be an interesting game either way. So we'll keep an eye on that game for you tomorrow. All right, let's hear from one more person, Keyshawn Johnson, and we will wrap it up here after a 78-68 win over the Dayton Flyers. Keyshawn Johnson in Salt Lake City after the game.
Percent of shots, all the guys they can make those shots, but I knew we had to get to the basket. I realized there was a guy that probably couldn't move his feet with me and everything, so I just got to the basket and showed my God-given talent.
Especially what happened to this team last year, losing in the first round. How satisfying, gratifying is this to get back to the Sweet 16?
Man, it's a blessing to get here first and foremost. But once we made it, once we had our foot in the door, we just had to just rely on what we've been working for our whole year. We're not really worried about what happened last year. That's in the back of our mind. But I carry that burden that they had when they lost to Princeton. But I carry that, so I'm not gonna let it happen this year.
This team came back from a 17-point deficit against Nevada. They're up 17 again. They cut it to 3. What do you think of that?
They're a gritty team. It takes grit. It takes grit to come back from 17, especially in March. Every team gonna have their runs through and throughout, but we just gotta stick through it and stick to our game plan.
You guys are celebrating, but you obviously know that the job's not done. What are the thoughts going into the Sweet 16?
Sure. Go back to the drawing boards. It's most important that we get rest. Just study up on our next opponent. Whenever they play, just make sure we take everything that we could do to save the game.
How about this Arizona crowd that came to support you guys?
They always come. This McHale, what you call it? McHale Northwest. McHale Northwest. Yes, sir. There we go.
You guys shot pretty well, but do you feel like the key was defense, especially early, just kind of with their offense being as good as it was?
In basketball, the key is always defense. Defense is always the key. You can't always control what shots you can make and don't make, but you can control making it hard on your opponent as possible.
What was of the challenges they had? What do you feel like? What were the points of emphasis that worked out for
they just had a stretch big. Holmes, hell of a player. He had a lot of big shots down the stretch. So that was pretty much their advantage. When I was guarding Holmes and other guards were switching on him, they was able to throw it over the top to him, and he made a couple of plays. He got a couple of fouls, so that was probably our biggest challenge. But we stuck to our game plan. They had to beat us by doing that, and we stuck through it.
All right, that's Keyshawn Johnson after the Wildcats knock off Dayton 78-68, win number 29 on the season in the 35th game, and it's on to Los Angeles and the Sweet 16. That is going to wrap up our coverage for today. It has been a long one. We started at 5:30 this morning with one of the earlier pregame shows you're going to find. And it ends now with a win for the Arizona Wildcats. And for the second time in 3 seasons under Tommy Lloyd, the Wildcats will play on the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. I'd like to thank all the folks who were part of these broadcasts today. We had AJ Camacho here on the AM side, Kelvin Ifan, JW Madden. That's right. We get to hear that song one more time. Wild about the Cats, because tonight in Salt Lake City, in front, well, they didn't give us an attendance, but in a game that took 2 hours and 14 minutes, number 9 Arizona knocks off Dayton 78-68 to advance to the 21st Sweet 16 in program history. As always, folks, thanks to you for listening. We'll talk to you on Monday at 3 o'clock for DK on the Sports Tip. Arizona beats Dayton 78-68. Bear down, Arizona.
When Craig McMillan is in the game, he makes the offense flow. I'm gonna find the open man and get the ball down low. And Cook Gasol plays the game like only Son can do. Give me the ball and stand back and watch me jam 4-2. Elliott's here, it's time to play. They want me in the NBA. When Tolbert plays, he plays to win. I put it up and it goes in. Huh. Give Kerr the ball, give Kerr a hand. I'll drill it in from three-point land. Ask the Gumbies, ask the refs. We don't do drugs 'cause we're the best. W-I-L-D. Cats. W-I-L-D. Wildcats. W-I-L-D. Cats. Wild about the Cats.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way to Southern Arizona, and while we're hoping for a few more weeks